Hello everyone, Dobry den. This is Steven Yurishko of Restaurant Adventures with Steve Yuri. For today's restaurant adventure, I will be taking you on a culinary journey to Georgia, to Askaneli Premium Georgian, Ukrainian, and Seafood Restaurant, located at 511 Southeast 5th Avenue, Suite 101, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is a restaurant that I had been wanting to try for many months, and finally, a special occasion arose, my 66th birthday, and my first birthday since I ended my chemo and I have been in remission from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. To celebrate this landmark occasion, I was with my wife, Beverly, my cousin Dara, who was visiting from Croatia, and Maria, our longtime family friend, who is also from Croatia. Located practically on the banks of the New River in Fort Lauderdale, the elegant exterior of the restaurant was made even more picturesque with a Mediterranean-style water fountain and a gorgeous view of the surrounding apartments and the majestic yachts. Unfortunately, the weather turned rainy and stormy as our dinner progressed, marring the attractive view of the river scenery. The interior of the building was spacious. It was graced with a bar that opened to the outside, where outdoor seating was also available. One of the interior dining areas was decorated with big screen TVs showing burning logs and a fireplace, and comfortable, cozy seating. Further inside, there was a darkened club atmosphere with chic purple lighting and a glowing Askaneli logo spinning on the wall. That was where we sat, facing a performance stage at the end of the room. Almost immediately, our Ukrainian food server approached us to take our drink order. Indeed, it seemed as if much of the serving staff was Ukrainian, which was pretty cool, considering that my remote ancestors may have been Ukrainian. The first order of business was the wine. I had read on the internet how Georgian wine is fermented in big clay vats called Pori. What struck me about these jars was the similarity between them and the dolia that were used by the ancient Romans to produce their wine. So by trying this traditional treat, I was hoping to get a feel for how ancient Roman wine used to taste. Being ignorant of Georgian wine, I asked our food server to help me out. He selected a beautiful saparavi that had been fermented in one of those Pori. It was delicious, full-bodied and dry with a ruby red color. The next part of the meal consisted of the appetizers. While reading up on Georgian cuisine, I reviewed the menu online and picked out a few appetizers for us to sample. Unfortunately, due to the lighting, the photos were unable to show the culinary offerings in all their full, colorful glory. We started out with the Georgian-style eggplant roll, also known as badrajani nigzvit. This popular Georgian appetizer was made with fried eggplant slices filled with a seasoned walnut paste and pomegranate seeds. While we found it a little on the bland side, we enjoyed it. This was followed by the Kash Soup. As explained by our food server, the broth is made by boiling cow and pig feet for 8 hours, producing a hearty, white in color but slightly gelatinous stock. The broth is then flavored with garlic, onions, and vinegar. My soup was served with sprigs of fresh Italian parsley, a plate of minced garlic, and a tiny pitcher of vinegar. Admittedly an acquired taste, it reminded me of Turkish tripe soup. I enjoyed mine by adding olive fixins to bring out all of its garlicky goodness. The next appetizer was a very special Kacha Pori Ojuri. A loaf of freshly baked, boat-shaped bread filled with cheese, butter, and a raw egg was brought to our table by our food server. Our food server then proceeded to blend the ingredients together, with the heat from the bread cooking the egg and melting the cheese and butter into a lusciously stretchy and unique delicacy. Although this is the first time I ever tried this dish, even now I'm finding myself craving for another taste. If you've ever had a hankering for Chinese soup dumplings, then Kingi with veal should be right up your alley. Kingi is a traditional Georgian dumpling filled with ground veal that flavored with onions, scallions, and herbs. Although very hot, when we bit into the dumplings, a flood of savory broth dribbled out, created from the steamy ground veal and suet mixture. This was another extraordinarily delicious dish. We then ordered a couple of entrees to share. Our first main dish was the Coch Machi. This is a traditional Georgian dish made with boiled and chopped pieces of cow's hearts and liver, then flavored with onions, vinegar, and spices. Because it reminded me of the type of dish my aunt, Maestrina Zorka, used to make on our visits to Croatia, I really enjoyed this quote-unquote taste of home. Not satisfied with sampling just one main course, we ordered the Ojuri. Ojuri is a traditional Georgian specialty made with fried potatoes and pork meat, flavored with onions and spices. I enjoyed the savory goodness of the dish. The potatoes were nice and soft, and the pork meat was well seasoned. Because we sat in a section of the restaurant with the stage, we were treated throughout the meal with live music from an excellent guitar player and singer. Although he performed many familiar standards, his guitar playing and singing gave these renditions new life. All in all, despite the nasty weather, we enjoyed a delightful and unique dining experience. In the bargain, we learned about a new and different type of cuisine from a land that we knew very little about. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this week's presentation. Thank you for tuning in. This is Steve Yuri of Restaurant Adventures with Steve Yuri, signing off for now. And I hope you will join me on my next restaurant adventure.